This is Eldritch Song, the Magic Online Clan Seraphim, and I'm here with a new draft finally. Unfortunately, the site we used to use is no longer working, so it looks like we're stuck with this tapped out interface, which is not my favorite, but at least it works. Anyway, let's take a look at what we've got. Some sweet cards. Geist of Saint Trapped is pretty amazing. Sort of Body and Mind, Chandra. So there's definitely a few options we can go in. Sort of Body and Mind is just fun. Geist of Saint Trapped, though, is such a cool card. It's kind of difficult to know what direction to go in. Sort of Body and Mind is, first of all, probably the pick here, just because it's colorless, so it can go into really any deck I want. And in a limited format, being able to mill someone for 10 cards is just a win condition all by itself. So, though there are some pretty sweet cards, and I would love a Geist of Saint Trapped, it's already Body and Mind just seems too OP for me to pass up. Alright, so what do we got? Looks like Bitter Blossom would be a pretty amazing pick here. It would go fantastically with the sword. I'll have lots of little bitty tokens to throw things on. Ranger of Eos, Damnation is really good. Kega is good. Nether Void is good. Sigarda is good. Capture of Jinx Sao is obviously good. I'm going to go ahead and take Bitter Blossom, I think, just because of the strategy. It works a lot. Maybe a black aggro deck could be fun, and if I get back Nether Void, which is a pretty good possibility, we could maybe have a pretty sweet deck on our hands, so see what happens. Alright, well. Ooh, Nicole Bolas. This is one of those times where your life comes down to some important choices. I love Nicole Bolas. I don't think I've ever had a draft where I've passed him and when I could have taken him and regretted it. At the same time, though, you've got Dark Confidant, Go for the Throat, just cards that are just fantastic in like a black aggro type deck. Ugh, this is kind of tough. You know what? I'm gonna take him. I'm probably gonna. I don't think I'm gonna regret that. Honestly, I don't think I will. I love Nicole Bolas. All right, so here, I'm just gonna go ahead and pretend like I'm still drafting the same deck, because if I don't end up using Nicole Bolas, well, that's not that big of a deal. Even though I guess Mana War is pretty good, so is Necrotal. I think at this point it's time to switch gears. Yeah, it's true. I really do want to play Nicole Bolas, so Necrotal, Mana War, Liliana Spectre, Molten Masticore, all pretty sweet. Plus you got some dual lands here that aren't really that relevant, but City of Brass is also pretty good. Here I'm gonna take the removal. Necrotal is a pretty sweet card, and it works. Mana War definitely would be a good pick also. If that wheels, that'd be just the best. Alright, so Siege Gang Commander is fun. It's a couple of dual lands, which actually are in the colors we would be playing, which is kind of cool. Magma Jet's good. Fettergeist is not really that cool. So I think Siege Gang Commander here is the pick. If I wheel one of the dual lands, that'd be pretty sweet too. Looks like I'm going to be playing Grixis. So hopefully I'll start getting some pretty sweet blue cards, though you never know. Blue is a pretty popular color among players in my cube, so that could be at a premium. But if I end up just playing red-black, it's not really that big of a deal. On a splash play for Nicole Bolas, I'd still be happy with that. So we got the first pack back, and just a little disclaimer, we are playing with 5 people, so we're going to see a few packs more than once. So, anyway, Sonic Blast, Sour Temptation. I really don't feel like there's too much competition here. I feel like Sour Temptation is just the best card here in the pack. Masticore can be pretty fun. Hornet Queen seems like a pretty big green bomb, but obviously we're not playing green. Though it's nice to mention kind of cool cards. But Sour seems like the pick. Alright, so I was gonna take the Nether Void out of here, but now we've got 2 choices, Damnation and Capture of Jinx Sao. Damnation to me is the more interesting card. Capture of Jinx Sao is sort of a combo type card, which is really good in like green decks. Not that I wouldn't take it if it came back again for a 3rd time, but Damnation just being a board sweeper is pretty sweet. Chain Lightning might also be a better pick, but Damnation is pretty awesome. So we got Go for the Throat and Arcane Denial. Both are pretty good. There's also a dual land here. really could go, I guess, either way between these two. I like Arcane Denial, but Go for the Throat is just too powerful, I guess, to pass up for right now, especially. Though it's nice to see it going so late. Hopefully, Arcane Denial will wheel. I feel like if someone hasn't taken that card out of there already, there's a good chance that the color combination might be open. The Spectre is fun. Same time, though, I don't like having a dual-colored, low-costed card in a 3-color deck, so I'm going to go ahead and take City of Brass for some mana fixing and then pass the rest of these. Molten Massacre is cool, but it's a bit resource-intensive. So Forked Ball is a possibility, Trinket Mage is a possibility. I think Bloodstained Mire, though, just having the mana fixing would be worth it. And none of these other cards are so great that I'm really going to miss not having picked them up, I don't think. Alright, so this pack doesn't have too much. Yawgmoth's Will is really the only card I want to be taking out of this pack. Horny Queen, clearly no one's playing green because this card is pretty broken, but Yawgmoth's Will can be useful under certain select circumstances, so I've never played that card very often. I think it's better in like an aggro type deck just because it lets you get your cards back, but you know, you never know. Vivid Creek actually is a pretty good pick here just because it'll let me kind of mana fix. And it's in one of my colors, so it's not a loss. Alright, so Arcane Denial comes back. Elish Norn's pretty sweet. It looks like no one's gonna try to ramp it to the big one. So I'm glad the Denial came back. I think that maybe might mean the blue is sort of semi-open. Neither of these cards are really that crazy. I'm gonna take the River Boa just to protect myself from Island Walk. Though I doubt anyone's really playing green aggro anyway. Crucible of Worlds, not really a card for this deck. It's better in like a Wildfire type of build, but might be fun just to have in the sideboard forever. So I've got a feeling someone's drafting red pretty heavily, or maybe just 5 packs that we were opening didn't have very many red cards. So pretty much all I've got is like Siege Gang Commander in terms of quality red cards. You notice Chain Lightning I don't think is going to come back. I think I might have already passed the pack it was in. Anyway, though, next pack. Alright. Remember the colors. So, Rafika the Mini is sweet. It's too bad I'm not playing that color combo at all. Thoughtseize, definitely an option. Solemn Simulacrum, definitely an option. Creeping Tar Pit is definitely an option. I think Simulacrum here is just the best card because it mana fixes plus draws me card. Just the value on this card is pretty high. Thoughtseize would be the next one in my opinion, but Simulacrum just seems pretty broken here, so gonna go ahead and take it. And Wheel of Fortune seems like fun. Actually, someone last cube I played in drafted a Wheel of Fortune deck with Reanimate, like a red-black Reanimate. It's actually a pretty sweet card in that deck. But otherwise, let's see. Volcanic Island could be fun. Lava Craw Reaches, obviously good. Survival is good. Really, there aren't too many cards in the colors we're playing. I think I'm just going to go ahead and take either Lava Claw or the Island. I think Lava Claw is better just because it gives me a little bit more options with the mana land out there. So I will grab that. So Library of Alexandria seems like a pretty clear pick. I'm actually kind of disgusted that it's gone this far. So that's the pick here. There's also Crumbling Necropolis, I guess. Yeah, or Counterspell. There's really no competition for the Library, even if those cards would be a lot better than they were. Library is just pretty broken. Alright, Rolling Earthquake, Brainstorm, Neverrun Yell's Disc, Celestial, not that card. almost read that one out. Let's see. I think I like Rolling Earthquake, but I also like Brainstorm a lot. Brainstorm. I can't get away from card draw. That's gonna be good. Okay. So we're Scalding Tarn. Let's see. Birthing Pond, Dungeon Guide, Stomping Ground, Lotus Petal. Looks like Scalding Tarn is the pick here. I don't really see anything else that's really that crazy useful. Dungeon Geist is actually pretty good. Actually, you know what? I'll take Dungeon Geist. That's not a bad card. I don't really need that much mana fixing anyway for 3 colors. It's not that hard to play. Life and Death is pretty good. If I was playing those colors, it'd be a slam. But I'll take the Creeping Tar Pit out of here. Alright, so Duress is an option, Volcanic Island is an option. We've already got a lot of mana, but then again, Duress is not... You know what? I guess I'll take a Duress. I kind of passed up the Thoughtseize. Might as well take something that's not as good, but at least semi-equivalent, just to kind of get into my opponent's hand and see what's going on in there. Definitely good before you want to play Nicole Bolas, when make sure that they're not going to blow it up with anything crazy. Volcanic Island would probably wheel, just based on the fact that it's already come back at least twice. I've already seen it twice at least. So that would be the other pick I would have taken out of that pack. So Icy Manipulator or Crumbling Necropolis. Necropolis is just strangely appropriate, being Grixis. Icy Manipulator though is pretty sweet. I'll take the Manipulator now. I think the Necropolis will wheel just because I don't think anyone else is playing Grixis. There's no reason why they would take that card. So whereas Icy Manipulator kind of goes anywhere it wants. Neverending Yellow's Disc is good. It's nice to have another board wipe. So, seems like the pick. Alright, I will take a Scalding Tarn. This is going to be the most... Well, it's going to have a really solid mana base based on all the duels I've been taking. And... looks like I'll be taking a Vivid Crag. So the Azorius Guildmage, that's no reason to have a card where they can only use half its abilities. Looks like Vivid Crag is the pick. Volcanic Island did come back, as expected. Kind of strange that I guess no one's playing those 2 colors, except for me, which could be good. Chameleon Colossus is just a broken card. I'm going to go ahead and take that out of there before someone decides to snatch it up. And it's got Pro Black, so it's kind of good to get that card out of this pool. And neither of these cards too crazy, but Glorious Anthem is probably the one that's going to be played. And it's the last pick in Academy Ruins. Alright, pack number 3. Okay, this is pretty nice. So we've got Sword of Light and Shadow, Sword of Feast and Famine, Vendilion Click, all really sweet cards. So I guess that's between the 2 swords. Seems pretty obvious. Feast and Famine is just better in this case. I think in most cases too, than Sword of Light and Shadow, so Feast and Famine it is. Spell Spread is also pretty nice. Vendilion Click is good. So probably Spells... Actually, Vendilion Click probably the next pick, and then Spell Sky would be 3rd. So, Feast and Famine. Okay, Control Magic seems like a Windmill Slam here. Let me check. Yeah. So I also like Morphling, but yeah, I really do like Control Magic. Intuition's also a pretty sweet card, so hopefully, let's see, ideally it'd be like Control Magic, Morphling, Intuition, or even Willbender would be nice too. But Control Magic is just really good. Well, this is a nice pack. Well, it seems to me like the 3 main cards, Jace, Memory Adept, Misdirection, Edict. I feel like Jace, Memory Adept is the pick here. It's just a win condition, basically. It's just a win card. Preferably I would get back because Edict and then Miscalculation 3rd. But yeah, Jace, it's a good card. Here it's between Shadow Mage and Snapcaster, and I think Snapcaster just sort of wins out the competition here. Though I would love to get Shadow Mage back, which is possible if anyone's not playing those 2 colors. But yeah. And the Signet would also not be a bad 3rd pick, so this pack actually has a few options for us to go into, depending on what people take out of here. Crystal Shard's not bad either, but Snapcaster Mage. Pretty good. Alright. So we got Preordain, Bane of the Living, and that's pretty much it. Prowler is not bad for like a reanimate type deck. I don't think it's gonna be doing anything for this deck. Let's see. I really do like Bane. Yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and take the Bane of the Living. I do like drawing cards, as I've already mentioned previously, but I'm a fan of board wipe, especially in a relatively creature light deck. Mendelian Click seems like a pretty clear pick. It's really great at checking out your opponent's hand, and being flash and flying is pretty awesome. Alright, so it looks like the card I was hoping to take out of here is not here, but we do have a Willbender still. And Vindicate is awesome. But Willbender is the card we can actually play, so we'll be taking that card. Every now and then, when you have the Willbender out, you can just do the most ridiculous stuff. So I'm definitely hoping to do some crazy things with Willbender these games. Alright, so don't want anything out of this pack, really. I guess Desolate Lighthouse is the card. Necropotence is fun, but 3 black might be a bit steep. You know, but I'm gonna go ahead and take it. Actually, it could be a pretty sweet card. And like I said, I do have a lot of mana fixing, so maybe the 3 black is not that crazy to think about. And I imagine that land that I want it's going to take anyway, which will just wheel around. So Memory Jar, player, blah 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 blah. That's fun. Flood Strand, Crystal Shard. I think I'm going to go ahead and take the Is It Signet. Memory Jar has never been that great for me. I can't believe Preordain wheeled. Well, I will take a Preordain. That's just good luck. So, let's see. Boiler Works, Burning of Xinyi. No, not taking that. Alright, so looks like Boiler Works it is. So we're almost to the end of this draft, and I'm feeling reasonably good about what we've got. Savage Lands actually could be reasonably useful. It's got 2 of the colors we need, so it's like having a black-red duel. Desolate Lighthouse, definitely playable. Tezzeret really is not going to do anything for me, I don't think. I mean, best case scenario with Tezzeret, he animates, or maybe he helps you find one of the swords and animates it until you get a creature. It's not horrible. I think it is. I think I'm just trying to get an excuse to grab another Planeswalker. I think that is pretty terrible. Yeah, Desolate Lighthouse. It was a nice thought, but I think that's, yeah, it's too narrow. Alright, and Crystal Shard, that's a good one to pick up. Every now and then it can be pretty awesome. And Diagraph Ghoul is our last pick, I believe. I think that was pack 3. So overall, don't think that went too bad. Be nice to see how it looks in Magic Online. Alright, so gonna go ahead and check out the results of the decks and bring them into Magic Online, and we'll play some games, so keep watching. Alright, so here is deck building. I'm actually playing in the new client, so we're gonna see whether or not we can make this thing work. Anyway, so let's just start moving cards into the main deck that I want to play. So yes, yes, yes. I don't know. All the lands definitely need to go in. Maybe not that one, but everything else. And let's see. Cold Bolus, Siege Gang, Necrotal, lots and lots of black. Memory Adept, Sower, Dungeon Geists, click, Willbender. Alright, so let me just sort those out real quick. I converted mana cost. And for right now, I'm just going to keep the lands out. Huh, so that's 22 cards. That's actually appropriate. So, let me make these a bit smaller. Alright, so that's the deck. Let me make sure I didn't miss anything amazing. Necropotence could be fun, but I think it's better to leave that out for now. Crystal Shard, Manipulator, the Signet. All that could be fun, but I think we have enough mana fixing here to suit us for quite some time. So let me just sort that again by mana cost. There we go, gotta move over. Alright, so we've got, let's stack these over here, that way we have some room to play around with the mana base. So we've got blue, it's not letting me do that. Alright, cool. So, let's see. We got 1, 2, 3, 4. Alright, so, it's a bit difficult to sort through all this stuff. Alright, so anyway, we've got a lot of blue cards, lots of double cost blue, few black, only a couple of red cards, really only 1, 2 red cards. So red's not a main concern. I think actually right here we probably have enough red to suit us. So we don't even really need to make room for that. What we do need is blue. And right now we have 1, 2, 3, let's see, 4, 5, 6 technically sources of blue. I want at least, I would say like 10. So we're gonna have to add, let's see, at least 4 islands here. And we've got, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 black. I'd say we need at least 8 of those. So that's 7 land. It actually ends up being 40 land. And I feel like that is perfectly suitable to the deck. Like I said, we don't really need that many red. We've already got plenty of sources. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 technically. Though it might be wise to throw in 1 mountain potentially, just in case we need to grab it with like a Scalding Tarn. So I'm gonna go ahead and take out 1 island, I think. Actually no, I'm gonna add the island back and take out, so put one of those in, put an island back, and then take out one of the swamps. And that ought to be pretty good. So that's the deck. We're gonna, I guess, take it into some matches and see how we do. And we're also gonna be sort of like beta testing the new client at the same time, so hopefully it all works out. So I'll see you in